This is the second part of the lecture, Developing Geographic Indications. So, as we discussed before, there are several criteria we should use to identify the territory. We should identify also the product, its qualities that makes this product different from the others. But it's very important in building a GI to establish an organization that will manage the GI system. The organization is a very important element. As you know, GI is not a trademark that a company can register it. Its GI is property of community that produce this product. So the community of producers should be organized in order to manage this. So this organization that should be built, that should be established, has to support the GI at all its steps, starting from setting up the rules, we'll talk later about this, controlling processes, commercialization of the product. Another important role of the GI organization is to establish rules. When we say to establish rules, we mean to draft, approve, and update time after time the code of practice. That is a document that includes all the rules that producers should apply. On the other side, the organization should manage the internal control system. And of course, this may highly reduce the cost of certification. And the organization, on the other side, can collaborate with the external control organization in order to make more efficient this control and also to reduce the cost of certification. The organization has also an important role in conflict resolutions. As far as we have to do with a great number of producers and also processors, time after time we may have disagreement between them, and it's the role of organization to manage this, to manage conflicts, to find solutions for every dispute the members should have. In the field of production, the organization should work to increase the quality of GI product by providing technical assistance and information, introduction of innovation and other improvements. Organization should manage some of production activities, could manage, as final processing, for example, classification, packaging, and especially marketing. But also it may reduce some costs, especially for small producers, through an organized and coordinated product research and development, through technical advice, through distribution information regarding marketing, different competitors in the market, etc. Another role of the organization. So the organization can increase the bargaining power of local producers in supply chain. The GI organization may become place for negotiations, structured negotiation on quality of the product and the price. It can elaborate marketing strategies, for example. It can develop collective actions for market research, for promotion. Another role is the coordination, representativity, and sustainability. The GI organization represents farmers in dialogue with external actors. It may facilitate access to producers, especially new producers who want to use GI protection scheme. Also, the organization should develop internal trust among producers. It also can make proposals for evolution, for changes, for adaptation in GI system towards new situation in economical, social and environmental sustainability. So, what is the organization structure we may suggest? Really, we cannot suggest a fixed model, but we should apply some rules. The main rules is that the organization should represent all stakeholders. And in some cases, we may have organizations that are very simple, as far as, let's say, producers are only one category, as farmers, for example, producing a product, and then a form of association is very suitable in this case, but could be a consortium, could be a group of representatives, especially in case we have different stakeholders. We have producers of raw materials, we have first processors, second processors. In this case, the management of our organization and the management of product is more complicated. Then we have to fit the structure with the best functioning of it. So let's go to next slide and see some models. In this figure, we see a model of the structure of organization. So we have in the first row the producers. These are producers. Okay. We have also in the second row processors that are very important element. First processors. We may have also second processors. Also play an important role in developing of GI. We may have or not retailers, because retailers sometimes may stay away from GI for different reasons. They could be located out of the territory, and GI want to have a strong territory connection, so they are not interested to involve them, but they could be also part of the GI. It depends on the situation. Let's see an example. Here we have the organization of Gruyere, very known cheese. So we have two levels: level of supply chain, also in the professional body. So the members of the whole organization are here. So we see we have users, dairies here, or retailers here, but also retailers. But when we see how the interprofessional body, is the name of organization, is built, we see that we have an assembly when we have representatives from producers. So we have 20 producers. All the producers, we have dairies representing 90 dairies. We have 10 is the assembly act committee, decision committee that takes day-to-day decisions. When we have four producers, assembly, four dairies, and president. See this structure, one of groups in the value chain has the dominance, nearly as assembly in. So the decision making is made through a compromise between different groups of the organization. One of the main tasks of the organization is to draft, approve and then, when it is necessary, to revise the Code of Practice. The Code of Practice is a document that establishes the rules for use of geographic indication. Its elaboration is a very important step leading to a voluntary standard or specifications with which local producers who want to use the GI have to comply with. The definition of common rule is the core of GI process. So it's a key step that should be addressed with attention. The rules listed in a document that is called Code of Practice is simply the standard of the production. The rules should be listed and written in a simple way, easily understood by all people that are involved in this GI. They should be clearly specify the quality of the product, specific quality of the product. Those rules should help to identify and guarantee the specificity. And of course, this rule should be discussed with all concerned producers. Does mean we should agree with most of farmers involved or stakeholders involved to respect these rules. The main content of the Code of Practice is structured with following chapters. Apart the name of the product, we have description of the product, we have ingredients and raw materials we use for this product, we have definition of the process, demonstration of specific quality linked to geographic origin, we have definition of the production area, we have name of product and labeling rules, and also we have control plan. I'm giving now an example to see how Code of Practice looks like. So I'm giving an example with a goat meat kid from Hasi goat breed in Albania. So in this Code of Practice we have this structure, name of product and product description, territory of the product, method of production, product quality, and the control plan. So the first chapter, it's just a row, it's a Hasi goat kid, the name of the product. We should take care about the name. Apart linking the name with a territory, we should avoid generic names like meat, cheese, ham, etc. that are not specific. And then we have product description. Normally what we describe in this product description is what makes this product specific. So the description is simple. In this case, the meat produced under this GI should be from goat kids with age from 3 to 6 months with a weight of carcass 10 to 18 kilos and a short description of the color uh, and other organoleptic characteristics of this production. Another important chapter of the Code of Practice is territory. In let's say half page, one or two paragraphs, we describe which is the territory, which are limits of the boundaries of the territory. So in this case, we have one side is mountain, then we have a lake, we have a border with another country, so it's easily defined. But also we should take care when we describe the territory to territorial units, administrative units, to describe also them carefully. So when you have a list of villages, that are part of this GI. Important chapter of Code of Practice is Proof of Origin. Here we should describe how we guarantee consumers for the origin of the product. So in this chapter we should describe, let's say, the way we guarantee the origin of animals, ear tagging, registering them, in which age, what kind of documentation we keep, this inventory of suitable animals on the farm, a register of slaughtered animals in a slaughterhouse. So we should describe who is taking care for this registration, what kind of documents we keep, and which are authorities that may inspect these documents. Another chapter is method of production. Here is where we describe carefully other specifics of the product. The method of production sometimes is a very important one. It makes the product very specific. In this case, a specific element is the time animals pass in pastures. So for these animals, traditionally, pasturing period is very long one. So they may stay inside the barn only for 60 days in the worst winter possible. Otherwise, they will pasture even in winter, even when it is snow. So in this code of practice, this is mentioned clearly that the number of days when we avoid pasturing are maximum 60 days. Then we should explain how is managed mating system, um, how we guarantee the food, kind of structure of the food we use, some rules to respect, especially for the concentrate, etc. Then we describe how we feed kids, what kind of rules and standards we apply in this case, specifically what we do differently by other areas or by other breeds. In this subchapter of Code of Practice, we explain how we feed goat kids. We give attention to some specifics, like for example that use of powder milk or other milk replacements is not allowed, or the hay and other ravage in the second month of their life, or pasturing of goat kids should start no later than the age of 45 days. So this element, even looks very simple, are important for the code of practice because we guarantee in this way the specificity of this product. Here we see the explanation of slaughtering practices are applied in this case. So we see that carcass will be weighted and classified according to standards. Carcasses that fulfill criteria for quality mark should be labeled. Not every carcass is labeled as GI. And also we have some general rules explained here for conditions of uh, uh, treatment of carcasses in cooling rooms and for timings and temperature, etc. After preparing the code of practice, the organization should prepare also the control plan. The control plan is a document that guides the farmers, the organization, but also the certification body to control different steps of building GI, different steps of production of a specific product we have developed. So control plan will serve the group to implement internal control and stabilize GI product standards, as well as to be a good base for public institutions, especially control and certification structures. to complete the template of documents for registering and monitoring. So after registering, the control plan should help to make the control in 3 levels. First level is auto control. That means the control is made by farmer or producer himself. He has to check every step of the control process if what he does is in concordance with what is written in the auto control part. Then we have another level is internal control. It's internal professional body or the association making this control, dealing with this control. Frequently, several times a year, they may go to each farmer or to some of them and check if the code of practice is applied correctly as it is written. And the control from external body also is based in a control plan, and the external body may control how the GI is managed by interprofessional body or the association, making some controls with samples. So these 3 levels of controls guarantees clients and customers for the quality of the product and for the origin of product, so that they are buying what is described in the code of practice. So let's see how a control plan looks like. In this table we have an example of the control plan for code of practice I have described in previous slides. So we have description of control. For the age of slaughtering, we have the rule that its slaughtering age should be 3 to 6 months. The method of control is that before slaughtering, in a slaughterhouse, should be controlled the animal register book. When the animal is born, they should check these documents, they should check the ear tag and certify that the criteria are respected. The same for other criteria, for the weight, for meat carcass, etc. So this is shortly how we build a GI, starting from identifying the product, specific characteristics of this product, then we go through defining the boundaries of the territory and find how this territory link with the product. Then we build the organization that will manage GI, and then we prepare the code of practice, and at the end the plan of control in order to control the application of GI according to code of practice. So for more information and more details you may use these resources. Thank you very much.